Jason Shank from Cleveland Plumbing Industry, CPI, here to talk to you a little about some minor fixes and issues that might come up with your toilets as they age and as you use them on a daily basis. So the basic concept of a toilet is you have a water line that comes in from this other side here, and there's a shut-off valve. So sometimes you'll see that there's water on the floor. One of the causes might be that this actual valve on the bottom here will actually start to drip and leak. Another common cause, especially during the summertime or when things get very humid and your house is open, the condensation likes to gather on these chrome lines and will drip, and it makes it appear that there's an actual drip or a leak in your plumbing system to feed the water closet, but actually it really isn't. What it is condensation from the air that gets on there, drips down. If you wipe it up, come back and look at it, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes later, if you still have a drip there, or you still notice that there's water on this line, then it's probably condensation. Just put something underneath there, or a rag to catch it, or a cup of some sort to keep the water from damaging your floor, and it should go away when the humidity drops. If not, then there's some issues with this packing valve. You might need to take a crescent wrench and tighten this up a little bit, or these compression nuts might have loosened up. Worst case scenario is you have to replace that, which we could do in another segment of the video. But the water comes in, feeds to the bottom. As you come up into the water closet, into the actual tank where the water is being held, normally everybody notices this as a handle and there's a lid on top so you don't see this. But this is the water comes up, shoots through here, through this tube, fills in here, and it fills up this water so it holds. Nowadays it's about 1.5 gallons of water or 1.6 gallons of water that's held in here. Older water closets, if you have an older home and you haven't replaced your water closets, a lot of those are still at 3.5 gallons per flush. So depending on your size of your tank, depends on the size of the flush. And essentially this is a network of systems in here to allow water to get into the bowl to flush down your drain after you've used the water closet. So when you go through this process here, the water comes in, this float actually tells when the water to shut off. So if you have running of a toilet, usually that means that there's a leak somewhere in here letting water into this tank, and you can usually view that by seeing water come down the edges of the water closet, where you can watch the water level here in the water closet. Actually, it'll start to shimmy and shake a little bit, and you'll notice that there's water going in there. What happens then is enough water will drop down inside this tank, and then this float will drop down. The water closet will say, I need water. Water comes back in, it fills up a little bit. Once it gets to its level again, it'll stop. So if you have that type of issue, generally you have to replace either the float that's in here that stops the water from going into the actual bowl of the water closet, or there's something going on with your fill valve, and that has to be replaced. So other things that then go on is, as if you flush this toilet, the water level goes down, the water keeps on, all this water jumps into this bowl, clean out the contents of the bowl of the water closet. Depending on what's going on with this, generally if all this is working well up here, as this happens and you don't get a good flush or something doesn't flush down the drain, generally most people will just turn around once this fills up, will flush it again. If it still doesn't clean out the contents of the bowl, then what normally happens is people want to go ahead and take a plunger and start plunging into this. What a plunger really does is it's just a seal on the bottom that goes into the seal of the water closet, and this is affecting the drainage system. So as I push down on this, I'm pushing air pressure down through the drainage system so that it can actually push any obstruction that might be in there. So as I push on this, air tries to force anything through this trap system on the water closet. And as I do this a couple times, you can hear that, and you actually see the water level actually goes down a little bit. Generally speaking, you try that a couple times, the water will go down. Most people then flush it again. If this whole process doesn't work after 1 or 2 tries, you're going to have to end up calling a professional who's going to come out and put in a snake to clear out any obstruction that's actually in that water closet. Other common problems you have is there's a connection or a seal around this area connecting the tank to the bowl. Sometimes this seal, if somebody's rocking on this or pushing it around, or over age, the rubber will just wear out that connects to these two. You'll get water dripping down off of here, going to your floor, creating wetness on your floor, destroying your floor, and possibly even the subfloor or the ceiling beneath it if it's on the second floor. So as all that goes through, this would have to be taken off and replaced. So again, that would be more professional coming out and doing that because it gets into turning off the water, disconnecting everything, draining everything out. Other common issues that happen is that you'll see wetness, just like I was talking about with the water line earlier about the condensation. During the summer months, condensation will drip and the water will start to spread all over the floor. So that's another common cause. Again, wipe that up, come back 15, 20 minutes later, start to see if you start to get condensation around the bowl again, that'll be your answer. The other issue would be on the bottom of this tank is a wax gasket that attaches itself to the actual floor or the plumbing system, and then it takes that water out of your house. Sometimes that wax gasket goes, or the wood has rotted underneath or something like that. The tank will start to, or the bowl will start to rock a little bit. And what happens is that seal breaks up. So every time you flush your toilet, some water spills out and starts to soak into the wood around your water closet. So that's another major repair that you're probably going to need a professional come out, pull the water closet out, take a look, see what's going on there, see if the seal is going to be correct or if anything needs to be fixed. Aside from that, there's 101 different things that could go wrong, but these are some of the major ones. So stay tuned for other updates from Cleveland Plumbing Industry.